Welcome, everyone. I'm Alfred Lambremont Weber, and we're here live with scientists Chris Burres and CEO Patty Greer, and with this amazing miracle molecule for breakthrough hair renewal, and I'm going to turn it over to Patty and to Chris. I have been using this product for hair renewal for the past couple of years, and I can tell you it works. It just works. It automatically works. I don't have to tell it to work. It works. And but I'm going to tell it over to you, Chris, Patty. Tell us about the miracle molecule for breakthrough hair renewal, and we have it. We'll be going up with it on the screen, but for right now, tell us about it.
Well, first I got to share. Wow, your hair looks amazing. That's absolutely phenomenal. Also, this has been kind of a long day, and so I really want to jump in just right away. I know we're going to talk about hair product, and actually, the hair product is kind of born out of what I'm about to take. But I've got to take one right now. You know how you get that tickle in the back of your throat, and you're like, oh no, I'm gonna get sick. I don't get sick anymore, and that's where I go. Like once a year. I used to be kind of a sickly. I remember being sorry to kind of sidetrack here, but I remember being in Spanish class and sharing that I would get sick 4 or 5 times a year, and the lady next to me looked over me and goes, "Well, you're kind of sickly." And I've always been like athletic, and so I've never pictured myself as sickly, and that was probably an appropriate decision back then. It's just not the correct decision anymore, or description anymore.
So what he's taking is our strongest formula of pure carbon 60, the miracle molecule that won the Nobel Prize in the 90s. And now it's made in our lab after 31 years. We're making it specifically for humans and pets. And it gives you great immunity. And that's why Chris was saying, I feel like I might be getting a little tickle in the back of my throat. I'm going to boost my immunity. Boom, do a shot of Evo. And you'll feel so much better. It's 172 times more powerful than vitamin C. I just take mine on a spoon in the morning before noon, sometimes with food, but for me, my cup of coffee is food because I put so many wonderful things in it. Chris, you'll be surprised to know that my coffee is no longer the mug the size of a hot tub.
Uh-oh.
Doing like a normal size mug, and I'm only drinking half of it.
Oh, wow. And is that because you just have enough energy, like you feel just fine without having more? Yeah, I've actually shifted a little bit because I used to in the morning, so I'll put MCT. I've got a milk frother, so I'll do a cappuccino here at the office, and I'll add MCT to actually the milk. And I used to do just an espresso with that, and now I'm doing a full kind of Americano. So it's a larger volume, but I think it's approximately the same amount of caffeine. And I can tell you, I've always said this in the early days, right? So back in early 2018, when I started taking this formula on a regular basis, I could get to the afternoon and look back. If I were yawning or thinking I needed a second cup of coffee, I could always look back and remember I hadn't taken the C60 Evo formula that day. Since I incorporated it actually into my coffee routine, I just don't have that experience anymore.
Nice. Well, yeah, Alfred, what about you? When do you take yours?
Well, for me, it's just very, very simple. I get up, and first thing in the morning, I have my routine, which is where I go and after my shower, I'll shave. I'll brush my teeth, and then actually Patty came up with this idea that to take the two. I take two teaspoons in the morning, and take the 2 teaspoons and then swish it around in your mouth so that your gums and your teeth are getting the benefit of this, and that's what I do. That's what I do every morning, and it just it actually gets, it's something that you need to get used to, is the concept that there is now actually something that scientifically leads to hair growth, leads to scientifically proven life extension, at least in the laboratory, leads to more clarity, leads to all of these positive things, and it just like, how is it that, oh, I've got a miracle in my life? I mean, it's something, and for me, the fact that it was named after Buckminster Fuller, the fullerene molecule, and that in our professional life, Buckminster Fuller played such a big part, because from the 70s, that's 30 plus 20, now almost 50 years, this has been the World Good News Network, named with Buckminster Fuller. And so that it's almost of a piece, it's like, oh, so this is what happens in a life. And so I just wanted to express that part of it, but also now I wanted to bring this in because you can actually share, and you can begin to tell us, this is all of the information about this product, the directions, the ingredients. C60 Evo delivers another potent new product to people. It minimizes gray tones and tired, limp hair. It rejuvenates hair follicles to encourage new growth and enjoy thicker, more beautiful hair with ease. And I can tell you that that's true, because at this time, when we're not going to get into it because big tech is still out there with its spyglasses, but at this time when a lot of people in the planet have lost their hair, or finding hair is very difficult for something that we can't talk about, but we all know about, well, guess what I've been doing for the last couple of years? I've been taking ESS 60. And that's how I got through the last couple of years. And guess what? So I just wanted to, and let me bring Chris in there. And yeah, so over to you guys. Let me bring the product up a bit so that you can see it.
If I think it makes sense, I can get this started, and then really Patty has been the driving force behind a lot of the progression into this product. So we started really in earnest, basically. Well, let's kind of roll back real quick, cover the basics, right? This molecule that I'm holding up, and if you're just listening, that's fine. The molecule looks like a soccer ball, where the lines on the soccer ball represent the bonds between the carbon atoms. So you have a spherical molecule of 60 carbon atoms. This was discovered in 1985, and the three scientists who discovered it went on to win the Nobel Prize in 1996. The molecule's amazing. It makes great inks, batteries, tires, photocells. The industrial applications are off the charts. They actually thought the molecule would be toxic. They put it in a toxicity study. In that study, instead of being toxic, the test subjects that they gave it to, in this case it was Wistar rats, lived 90% longer than the control group. That was kind of the day that I shifted from being a happy-go-lucky carbon nanomaterial scientist, selling carbon nanomaterials to research institutions around the world, to then getting in the supplement market. Really, the driving push was Patty spreading the word and great benefits that she got from taking the original formulation. and then that really drove a lot of customer interest. And eventually, even though we tried very hard not to get into the supplement industry, in 2018 we got kind of earnestly in the supplement industry. And so it's come definitely a begrudging supplement guy. And then, one of the great testimonials that we get is about skin and hair improvements. And so when Patty and I partnered together, she's got her volume. We're kind of getting the word out there when we can. And then she kind of took a slightly different path, a path that I was probably never going to take, that ultimately got us here. But Patty, maybe you want to talk about, the kind of launching of this amazing advanced facial serum.
Oh, yes. So in the beginning, people were concerned that C60, the raw powder, is actually valued higher than an ounce of gold. So it's very expensive to make. And my partners, Chris, this young looking guy here, and Rob, who's also early 50s, invented 31 years ago the reactor that burns graphite rods at the heat of the sun, not graphene. Graphite rods at the heat of the sun in this reactor, which is a huge metal chamber, and that's how we make C60. And then the cleaning process was upgraded in the last few years to be safe for humans and pets. So now we have ESS60, which is all we sell at C60 Evo. So people are enjoying their bottle. They're either having the coconut in their morning coffee. Oh my God, it's so good. Yum. Or I'm proud to say I've got my first 32-ounce bottle. It's as big as my head. Oh God, I've got to get one in each flavor just to show off what a 32-ounce bottle looks like. But if FedEx or the train stop or whatever, I'm going to be stocked. 32-ounce bottle, I think we're the only ones that sell it, down to 2-ounce that you can buy by the dozen. So we've got all different sizes, 3 different flavors. But the tests are always done on the olive oil, the extra virgin olive oil. They're all organic because it is the strongest you can buy on the market. ESS60, you'll get 0.8 to 0.86 milligrams per milliliters in the olive oil. So people were loving it, and they're drinking it, and they're taking it every morning. And once in a while, somebody say, oh God, I drip on the kitchen counter. So I'd say, hey, mop it up, put it on your face, rub it on your hands. And because I do. And I also look at the lip, of the bottle, and sometimes I kind of rub my fingers around it to grab just a little more, because I don't stick my finger in the bottle, but I just want a little to put on my face. And my skin was starting to really change. And I thought, oh my God, this stuff's like really good for my skin. And I had a couple of things removed off my skin and skin surgeries, and they healed like unbelievable, really quick, really clean. So there's nothing it doesn't fix. We talked about swishing for teeth and gums. It works there too. So we have this other influencer that we work with, Michael Jaco. We do a couple shows a month. He's been bald since he was 18. So he's this big, tough, husky guy. And all of a sudden, he's using our amazing facial serum that came out of the drips on the counter. I said to the guys at the lab, can we please do a facial serum? And it is so beautiful. It's got the essence of rosemary, tipped in my box, and it's got 21 natural, organic, vegan ingredients. It is delicious to smell on your face when you go to sleep at night. And the very first morning people use it, they wake up in the morning and it's like, no way. My skin is plumper. Like almost everybody I know that's a friend has said, that was really fast for me to notice anything this brilliant. So then the guys at the lab tricked me and surprised me, and they went on to do another facial product a year later with copper peptides, but a very special peptide called UTH29 that has had 30 years of research. Chris can explain that in a minute. But this started giving even a more amazing lines, wrinkles, creases, like really great skin repair, adding the peptides. So here we are now, Michael Jaco, bald forever, Alfred Lambremont Webre, normal gray hair, little ponytail and back. All of a sudden, everybody's growing this huge hair. And Michael said, I'm getting fuzz on my head. Like I actually have to shave areas of my head that have been bald forever. I mean, what? So Chris and Rob, they went back to the lab with the scientists. They're like, what can we do for the hair? So they came up with another formula. And we encourage people to scratch your head, no matter if you have just thinning hair or bald head, really scratch to wake up the surface, massage your head. I'm going to have nice, messy hair, but you want to massage, stimulate the scalp, and then put this on. And Chris is going to show you, we'll do it with the facial serum because they're both a 2-product run. And I'll let Chris tell you the reason we're doing 2 bottles. I'll let him explain the scientific reason, but it really saves you having chemicals on your head, on your face. And again, we're getting amazing rave reviews. Look at Alfred. You are the poster child of C60 Evo hair growth.
Alfred, maybe if you pull the webpage down, they can see all 3 of us, and Patty can kind of describe as I'm going through.
Right. Exactly. Let me just do that right now. Go ahead.
So what we have here is the peptide formula, and it's blue, and it's a water base. And then we've got the oil base other bottle with the ESS60 and other wonderful natural oils. And what we want to do is activate in your hand at the time of putting it on your skin. And doing this saves us from having to use emulsifiers. So you just mix it in the palm of your hand or on your fingertips and apply it immediately. If you're doing it on your hair, take it on your fingertips, rub it into your scalp after you massage the scalp. On your face, look at his skin. Chris is 75. He looks amazing.
53.
I like to exaggerate his extreme youth. But really, for 53, it doesn't matter. He and Michael Jaco, Mr. Tough Guy, are always swabbing and slathering on every show we do. Well, here I am not. I'm the female, but the guys are slathering because it's really great for men. We think of facial products for women, but needless to say, men want to look good too. And I have been amazed at the hair formula. Like some of our influencers yesterday, the guy was only 33 years old, and he said, are you kidding me? I am so concerned about hair loss more than anything else. It was like, what? You're so young. Your hair looks great. He said, I've already done something. Like, what? I won't say his name, but already losing hair. And because I'm 5'2", I don't see the top of people's heads very often, but I can certainly see the hang of yours and the change of darkness. And at 80 years old, which you are so proud, that is some gorgeous hair. And the Native Americans would say, oh yeah, big antenna.
Big antenna. One of the comments, I'm sure he's just kidding around. Sarah Madhavahali says, is that a wig? No, it is not a wig. I'm sorry to say, it's quite real.
I've watched it grow.
Yeah, and this is and my creativity and productivity has gone up with that. So I think that all of that might sound woo-woo to people who just tune in, but it's all of a package. I mean, I read this thing that during World War II, the U.S. Army that hired the Navajo scouts, the Navajo scouts did not have to take the U.S. Army hair cutters, U.S. Army normal haircut, because when they did, it cut down on their psychic capacity. So there's all kinds of benefits here.
Well, one of the things that I think is unique about your story, Alfred, is how you started working with us. You were taking the product, and then you had some advice that, hey, maybe this is not a product you should be taking, and you stopped. Why don't you talk about that kind of journey of on, off, and then what happened after that?
Well, I didn't take it very seriously, and I didn't stop for a long time, but I stopped, and then something in me said, no, keep on going. And I started up again, and it was like getting back up on the highway. Let's say if you're on a drive and you're on the interstate or on the highway and you're driving, and then there are these off ramps where you go to have coffee. Well, I went off to the off ramp to go to the restroom, and then when that was over, I got back onto the highway, and it was like getting back onto the highway, and you know, that's the exact feeling that I had. This is a product which has come into my life as a miracle. And, you know, you repeated, Chris, at the beginning of the program, a thought that I've had over the past couple of days, and I'm going to knock on wood here. I'm never sick.
Mm.
I'm never sick anymore. I really am never sick anymore. I'm walking around and I'm healthy all the time. I mean, you know, and I mean, I'm just going to knock on wood, because we all know how this life is, and we all read the newspapers and freak accidents and all of that, but it actually happens. And I know that now, I'm not, here's Edith Chilian says, I've been taking it for 3 years, no hair changes. I'm not sure, but I just wanted to, so.
I wonder if it's been our product or somebody else's, because there's
Yeah.
a difference.
Yeah, Edith, have you been taking C60 Evo though? And there's Joseph. Joseph is from Israel. He says, you know, greetings from Israel. And he says, you're looking safe since a few years. I can see it, Alfred. And Joseph has known me for decades.
Mm.
Yeah.
And Joseph is one of these people. He is a kind of an evolved consciousness from Israel. And you know, so there's somebody from Israel that has known me probably for 3 decades, and he's saying that now I've really changed over the past couple of decades. And so so that's why this miracle molecule for breakthrough hair renewal is a specific product that we're saying that those people who are now having a hair issue, well, this is a possible thing that you may want to look into. And, as Chris said, just for general purposes, this is something that brings you up to a whole new level of health. Because I can say, knock on wood, I just don't get sick anymore. I'm at a new level of health.
It's beautiful.
Both physical and mental health. And I you know, I have a degree. I have a degree as a graduate psychotherapist with practicum, etc., from the University of Texas. And I know that that's all about mental health. And what can I say? I mean, this is a product that enters you into a new world of superlatives. So I'm just going to say that. I know, Chris, you have to leave today, so we've got about 5 more minutes before we hit that. We're at 24 minutes, but we have 4 or 5 minutes left before we hit that 30
Let me add a couple things. So first off, we always need to add this because it's actually appropriate. The FDA has not evaluated our products. They are not intended to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease. We're sharing anecdotes, like the anecdotes of your hair, of Michael Jaco's hair, really of the health experience or the experience in general, whether it's health or wellness. Those are anecdotes, and this is a very early product. It's a cutting edge product. It's got some wonderful research behind it, some wonderful theories behind why it works. And still it's early, so we have to to be forthcoming and share that these anecdotes may not apply to you. Patty's about to get into some more about the hair renewal. She did mention kind of scratching, right? So using your nails on your scalp. There's two reasons that that's important. So one is, when we started kind of coming out with this product, I've got to spend time. I've got to be able to talk intelligently about it. And one of the things that came out of that research was that actually scalp massage is a great way to support good hair health, right? And that's actually like thickness and density and speed of growth. So to spend those, couple of minutes massaging the hair, great. But I tend to use my nails, right, and bite into the scalp a little bit. And what that does is kind of cut through the dead skin layers, and it'll drive some blood flow, and then also allow the product to penetrate. So that's a good idea for this hair renewal product.
Yay. Well, I also never get sick. Never. Except I went to a Del Bigtree speech a year ago at Christmas, and everybody got sick. Wow, what a coincidence. So sure enough, I came down with the big C, the small C, with the 19 later. And I had that for 6 days. And a few weeks later, I started seeing a pile of hair in my shower drain, which I have never seen in my life. I've always had big, thick, curly hair, and all of a sudden my brush, I pull it out and I'm like, what? And I ball it up and it's like, man, make a pillow. I mean, not that bad, but I was stunned that I was losing that much hair. And so I called the lab and I said, what the hey? And I was already taking the facial serum because Michael Jaco was saying he had great results, and rubbing it through my scalp. And I'd find sometimes I get a little gray, and I'd put the facial serum on and the gray would kind of melt away. It was quite nice. And I thought, oh my gosh, it's coloring and all that. But it took about 3 weeks and I haven't used it since. So for me, but I also take it on the interior. And I think that has a lot to do with it, inside and out. If you're treating your body on the inside with a mega antioxidant, like the olive oil, it takes 2 hands to lift my big bottle. I'm so proud. I've never had a 32 ounce. Anyway, it's really important to get your body built up on the inside so that anything we apply, face, hair, lips, we also have incredible lip balms. We're kind of listening to what people need and we're presenting it. I heard a lot of people lost hair. A lot of people I know really thinned their hair after being sick in the last 2 years. So we're delivering products that are really addressing people's issues now. Thus, the C60 Evo peptide and ESS60 amazing miracle molecule C60 Evo hair renewal duo. And like Chris showed you, you apply it in your hand in the palm. I do it on my fingertips so I can get it right in there. But again, I just gave my set to a hairdresser and I said, use it on 20 people, turn them onto this product and see if you can improve their hair loss. Because mine's good. I don't have to worry about it again. I can't say everybody's going to heal in 3 weeks. I don't know. But I know that I find myself just for pleasure under a hot shower. I'm scratching my head now because it feels good. And I know that stimulating your head stimulates your mind, stimulates your brain. I like to be stimulated mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And this product has helped my life tremendously. So thank you, Chris and Robert, for joining me and being my partners, because I think we're bringing easily the greatest products ever to the world. Head to toe, we are getting unbelievable results with ESS60 and C60 Evo.
That is really, really, really something. Now, one of the comments in the thing, it says, are there any side effects? Now, I have had no negative side effects in the many years that I have used it. Quite the contrary, all the effects are positive. That's why we call it a miracle molecule.
Right.
And that's what we see from our customer base, right? So it's our responsibility, kind of FDA responsibility, to track any serious adverse side effects. And we haven't had to track any serious adverse side effects. The things that people might have a challenge with are we use a high quality olive oil for the olive oil product. High quality olive oils will leave a peppery flavor at the back of your throat. And so some people are uncomfortable with that. And to them, we say, hey, you can order our caplets, or you can just sop it up in bread and eat the bread. There's a lot of ways to mitigate that if that's a challenge for you. The other thing that they might say is, the standard serving size is a teaspoon of olive oil. If you're not used to consuming a lot of olive oil, that can have we'll call it a cleansing effect on your system. It just takes a day to 3 days in order for your body to get used to the oil. And it's actually a product that has no known toxicity level. There is somebody who actually said expensive scam. What I find with a lot of people who tend to say these things is they haven't bothered to go look and read the research, right? The research is behind this particular molecule, ESS60, is that it is associated or responsible actually for the single longest longevity experimental result in human history. And that's the baseline. And it's from there that we're kind of building off of it and coming to understand how it positively impacts the body. I was skeptical. I mean, I'm a scientist. I was probably one of the more skeptical people, probably more skeptical than even you, Unseen Recordings. And as our testimonials keep coming in and as we keep funding research, we actually just got a paper while I was out of town of the second paper research associated with, kind of testing toxicity. As those keep coming in, we just keep getting confirmation of amazing results. So, I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Sorry. The only other complaint is that some people can't afford it. So I want to talk about ways to save money. And I didn't mean to interrupt you, but that's the only complaint I hear is that people on a limited budget have a hard time spending $95 a month on a product. So if you sign up for a monthly subscription, it goes down 20% immediately every month. And if you don't love it, you just call us or send an email, cancel at any time. You have no obligation at all. The product line is full of so many wonderful different products, from the lip balm to the facial to the edible. We also have capsules for people who don't want to taste the oil. So the website is listed on the bottom of the screen. And if you go to Alfred's code, you'll get a special page and you use his code, which he's going to mention below the show, that you'll get another 10% off no matter how many discounts. So we have products grouped together, especially for Christmas holidays, like different sets, the skin renewal, the skin and hair renewal, the energy, the big bottles. You can buy different quantities of products together. We take 15% off the cost of every product. And the greatest trick is if you get a set and you sign up for monthly, you get another 20% off. You use Alfred's code, you get another 10% off. And that's the way you're going to spend the least amount, is to, kind of play with the website.
Yeah. I just want to say real quick, and then this will be a question either for Chris or for Pat.
Well, I do need to run, so I'll let you guys wrap up. Alfred, thank you so much for having me. And we'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you, Chris.
All right. Bye.
Yeah. Good. And Patty, here's a shout out from Ann Hastings. She says, "Thanks, Alfred. I won a bottle of the ESS60 this last month. Remember we had the raffle, and you sent Ann Hastings her ESS60 capsules. So she's here and saying thank you." And Mike Rosado has a very interesting question. "I came in late, but how long before you start to see results?"
Everybody's different. People that are really conscious about their bodies are going to notice immediately. I noticed immediately because I was in a lot of pain and I took it and it was like, what? No way. So I think a lot of people are quick to notice that are hypersensitive to their sensitivities. But if you're really busy and you're on the phone and you're on the internet, and you're not focused on you, you might not notice for a while. I have a wonderful close friend, famous guitar player, touring and great guy. And he's really had these fingers that were hurting, starting to freeze up. And I gave him a bottle of Evo, C60 Evo. And I asked him about a month later, I said, so you noticing anything? And he said, oh, a lot of energy, but yeah, not much more. And I said, what about flexibility? Anything? He goes, I'm 30, nah, I didn't notice anything. And then he goes, oh my God, my fingers don't hurt. He didn't notice for a month that stopped hurting. It stopped being kind of frozen. Like, that's what I'm saying. And he's a brilliant musician. How could he not notice? Because he's so busy. So that's my answer. It depends on, how perceptive you are with your body, with your feelings. But a lot of us are noticing, yeah, I don't get sick anymore. Pretty amazing. And the only time I did was when a room of 800 people, half of us got sick. So we know what's going on. And that was interesting. And we got sick with the thing. So, what we're doing is we're finding solutions rather than complaining about what did go on. And I'm just hoping that we're moving into better times. I really am. I really have faith. And I wish everybody just the greatest holiday season, radiant health. My skin, I rode a Harley 50,000 miles with no windshield, no helmet, and my skin looked pretty beat up. So now I'm looking at myself in my late 60s going, anti-aging? Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty happy to be on this product too. And to be partners with the two guys that invented the reactor machine, doesn't get much better than that. So when people do comments, which, I see once in a while, like, oh, you're snake oil or whatever, there are companies selling weird C60 products that we would never sell, which I won't even elaborate. But they're also selling industrial grade, and we won't even sell the goods, the industrial to them because we can't be held responsible. Don't take it. Don't take percentages of carbon 60. You want to take pure C60. If you're feeding it to your pets, if you're taking it to your body or your partner, or you're giving it as a gift to your mother or father, we don't recommend it for pregnant people because we don't know. Did I say pregnant people? Pregnant women. And we don't recommend it for babies, children up to maybe 15. We haven't tested it enough. Chris has twins that are 12. They take it once in a while, but they're his kids. So we just say to be safe, 16 or over, and not while you're nursing. And maybe it's great while you're nursing. We just don't know enough yet. But we do know for the rest of us, dang, it's good. So we have 3 flavors. I didn't point out we have the MCT, the olive oil, but we also have avocado oil, which is really, really good. Chris puts this on his salad every day at lunch. He does the coconut in his morning coffee. And I got so hooked on it. It does hold half as much C60, ESS60, as the olive oil, no matter how much we put in it, no matter 3 weeks we run it, no air, no light. The C60 falls to the bottom in the coconut twice as fast as the olive, which holds literally 0.8 compared to 0.35 milligrams per milliliters. Avocado, 0.6, almost as strong, and it goes really well with my sweater. So I love all 3 flavors, but I choose the olive oil. It is the one that they did actually use for the Paris study. It was our product that's been used in all the scientific research that we know of from our lab, because we've been doing it longer than anybody on the planet, and we're still at it better than ever. So Alfred, our poster child for hair growth. Yes, it might not work for everybody's hair. It might instead build your bones or build something else. I call it the intuitive molecule because for me, it seems to go where people need it.
I love it. I love it. And we're up almost to the 40-minute mark. So I'm just going to on my end read from Alter Bridge, who looks like she's an ESS 60 user, or he. I noticed I wake up earlier now before my alarm. I probably got 6 hours of sleep now when I used to press snooze constantly before. That's me too. I get by much better on much less sleep, and I just wake up raring to go. But so Patty, over to you.
Well, I just want to say thank you, everyone, and we wish you very happy holidays and a happiest new year ever. And you know, the way to make it so easy on yourself is to take a spoonful in the morning. We are actually selling to a lot of medical practitioners, doctors, and medical clinics that are dealing with fourth stage C. I'm not making a medical claim. I would never do that. These doctors are, and they're reordering dozens. And I said, how are you selling so much? And they said, we're not selling. We are a fourth stage C clinic, and we're dealing with very serious illness. And so it's daily protocol. Wow. Daily protocol. 2 different doctor clinics are using our product. I wish all the veterinarians would get the C60 for dogs and C60 Evo for cats, because it would save people so much money at the vet. Like, it's the olive oil with a little salmon for the cats and a little bacon for the dogs. And it's the way to keep your dog healthy, longer, stronger. And old dogs that have been like lethargic in the corner, couldn't go up the stairs, or now we're getting testimonials going up and down. We've got a guy whose terrier was estimated they live about 10 years. He's 15, and the guy runs the oldest C60 site, C60 Research Society on Facebook, and he's constantly bragging about Donkey Dog, who's so cute, and he's taken C60 Evo, and like the dog looks like he's 7. He's just so beautiful, handsome, healthy. So if you've got an old dog or an old cat that you really love, share your olive oil with them if you can't afford to buy them their own, because it's almost the same, except theirs has the essence that they're going to love, and they're going to take it anyway because it's really healthy. But treat your dogs and cats also, especially this holiday season when you want them to live longer like you're going to.
Exactly. But right before we go, Valerie Ann asked the question. I just want to clarify it for her. Valerie Ann asked, are the buckyballs industrial grade? And I think she's confusing 2 things. The fullerenes, or the buckyballs, are in the ESS 60, which is safe for human consumption. So that's what I just wanted to.
The buckyballs are in everything, because buckyballs are C60. It's the molecule is a buckyball.
Exactly.
So the ESS 60 is elemental safe spheres 60 carbon atoms. So what we have is just higher cleaning manufacturing process is the difference in the ESS 60. They're all buckyballs. It's just a higher quality final product that's super clean.
Right, exactly. Well, Patty, thank you very, very much, and don't go away. I just want to.
Yes.
Okay, everybody, happy holidays. Take care. Bye-bye.